Welcome to MMA Inside the Cage, bringing the world of mixed martial arts straight to you. Cyrus Fees, alongside the man that tried to take my hosting duties right out from under me, Casey Oxenden.
Well, partner, you better be on your game tonight, man, because the word is I was doing the job you couldn't do last
Well, that's what the word is, huh? Wow, interesting. Well, just don't try to take my spot and we'll be okay.
Now, don't worry about your spot. We're talking X marks the spot tonight, man.
Good call, man. It's the feeder league for the X Series and the Rising Fight League. We preview the upcoming event that's going to shake up amateur MMA in the Southeast, Rising Fight League, Cook vs. Houston. The event goes down Friday, August 19th, live from the Tally Ward Center in Morristown, Tennessee. And in the next round, promoters Gene Click and Tim Loy are going to stop by to talk all about this awesome card. Now, some news came out last week, Casey. Very big news. Before we go to RFO, I want to talk about this. Zuffa decided they're going to cut ties with everybody from Golden Glory, both Overeems, Marlus Kunin, and John Olaf Einemo, a guy that just came off a fight of the night in the UFC, as well, not to mention Fedor Emelianenko. Talk about this news, man.
Man, I think it's a big deal. I think possibly Strikeforce is trying to change the face of the promotion.
Yeah.
You know, maybe cutting costs for, you know, from some of those higher budget European, Asian fighters.
Everything. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, it's a shame we're not going to be able to see those guys in America here for a while, but I'm sure we'll see them in some of those international events we're taking a look at.
No doubt about it, man. And speaking of Fedor, Casey, big news coming out of M1 Global. They're saying that Fedor is not going to be retiring. He's going to be main eventing a card in December in Russia, Moscow. So he is going to be fighting again, and that's big news for the international scene, case.
Oh, absolutely, man. Fedor, regardless of win, lose, or draw, he always draws a huge crowd. And he's extremely popular. You know, fans love him. And to be back in his mother Russia, it's going to be fantastic.
You're right, man. And the thing people don't know is that he didn't just have a contract with Strikeforce. He had a contract with Showtime. So they could still be on Showtime television. This episode, though, is all about the Rising Fight League. And one of the big fights on the card is your guy, Casey, Steve Thomas against Craig Johnson. Now, our first fight is from the Crossroads event. It's Craig Johnson taking on Mikey Braden. And later on in the main event of the night, we're going to have the other half, Steve Thomas, battling Mark Nunn. Now, I know Steve has probably watched this fight 1,000 times, getting ready for his opponent, Craig Johnson. He has to be ready, studying the film for his big co-main event.
Well, he has. He's definitely been in the gym a lot of extra hours, you know, practicing that sprawl and brawl, because Craig Johnson is one of the top wrestlers in the state, worked with Waylon Lowe, fights out of Wolf Clan Combat Sports there with, jiu-jitsu with Brandon Bledsoe. So, you know, Steve's going to want to keep it on the feet. That's no secret. But if it goes to the ground, you know, Steve's no slouch there either. So,
well, it's our first fight of the night. Let's take a look. Featuring your MMA Inside the Cage Punch of the Week.
E5, Mikey Braden in the gray, Craig Johnson in the black trunks. This one's scheduled for three 3-minute rounds here in Knoxville, Tennessee. The X Series, here we go.
Now, Mikey Braden is a guy we've seen a lot of in the Knoxville area. He used to weigh close to 300 pounds and was actually ranked #1 in the state as a super heavyweight. Now down at 205.
Wow, that's impressive. Fighting tonight at 195. As you can see, the full mount here, Ovens. And right now, Mikey in trouble. Full mount and hook sunk in.
He's definitely in trouble. Craig is a collegiate wrestler, definitely a good wrestler, and he's seen the takedown, ground and pound, is smothering him.
Pick your shots, come on, man. But Braden is squirmy. He needs to watch on top not to punch himself out because Braden does have a hard head and he's hard to hurt. In the past, what he's shown is that he can be submitted, though.
Yeah, Craig Johnson's corner is yelling at him to pick his shots. Exactly what you're saying, Casey. Pick your shots. Don't gas out up there.
He's tapping.
He did tap. At 1 minute and 34 seconds, Craig Johnson just too much for Mikey Braden. Wow. Johnson moves to 3-0 as a pro. There's a great shot of Braden. Just beat down. Looks like he may have really cut his lip there, too. Oh. He has lost a tooth, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
He lost a tooth.
Wow. Wow.
Welcome back to MMA Inside the Cage. Cyrus Feast, Casey Oxendine. We're previewing the big Rising Fight League show, Cook vs. Houston, that will be invading Morristown, Tennessee, Friday, April 19th. For more info on the show and tickets, you can check out xseriesmma.com. Now, right now, we're joined by the brains and the brawn of the X Series and the Rising Fight League. We have Gene Click here, and we have Tim Lloyd. So which one's the brains, which one's the brawn?
Brains. No doubt about it.
Welcome back to the show, guys. You guys have to be so excited about your second RFL event. Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, we're really excited. I mean, this is our first time. Obviously, the RFL early on was a traveling show to look for upstart talent in certain areas, bring talent in as well, build them up. First time going into Morristown, we're excited. We've always had a lot of teams coming out of Morristown, so it's nice to be able to bring the show to their backyard.
Sure. Now, do you think that it's going to be a good town? You think they're ripe for some MMA there in Morristown, Tennessee?
So far, the reception's been awesome. I mean, we've been welcomed with open arms everywhere we've gone, and everyone's chomping at the bit. Tickets are going, so we're excited for sure.
Now, there are so many big fights on this card, Casey. Man, I know you got some guys that are going to be fighting. Steve Thomas, Mark Cloyd's going to be on the card. Talk about some of your fighters and what their plans are for Rising Fight League.
Right, well, you mentioned those two, but then also, of course, the RoboCop. Dave Chambers, man. Of course, made his debut in the last X Series event, and won the fight. Everybody that's followed, the show, they know the rise of RoboCop Dave Chambers. So he's back at it again. He's at bat, and we're excited to see him go down and do it.
Very true. Now, we're going to go into the card in detail in round number 3. But let's talk about this big super fight that you guys have on this one. It's very interesting. You bring a super fight in here because a lot of these guys are like 1-0, 2-0. But you're bringing in two veterans of the sport, basically. You got Len Cook out of Absolute, and then you got Chauncey Houston out of Wolf Clan. Both had great performances at the Crossroads event. Talk about this matchup. I'll direct this to you, Tim. You put it together. Talk about this big super fight.
I was torn on this one because at the very beginning we said for RFL that we were going to make it strictly for guys with 5 fights or less. Yeah. And then the opportunity came to put together a super fight with Len Cook. This is actually going to be his last amateur fight before he goes pro.
That's huge.
I had a hard time passing up on that one. This will be one of his toughest challenges today. Chauncey Houston, his record is only 2-1. He doesn't have a lot of MMA experience, but this is a former Division II All-American wrestler at UTC. Carson Newman, he's a stud. It's certainly not a stepping stone for Len by any means.
That's what I was about to say. And Chauncey had a great performance at the Crossroads event. I mean, Gene, do you think that it's going to be a good fight, or do you think that Len Cook could just roll right through him?
It's hard to say. Len Cook is, he's a cage veteran. I mean, he's been pushed. Chauncey Houston coming in with, he's a super athlete. You can never count out, a wrestler of his caliber out at all. I think this is one of those fights that it's a pick'em fight. I'm excited. I hope we get to see all the levels of MMA. A lot of people are expecting a ground war, but both guys have shown to have more than above average striking.
Len Cook's striking has been improving, by leaps and bounds. Casey, Len Cook's becoming more of an all-around fighter, not just a ground guy now.
Oh yeah, man, Len is complete. The general consensus on this fight, from what I'm hearing, is that Chauncey should be able to take him down. But Len has incredible ground skills and he has incredible striking. So a lot of it's going to lie in, will Len Cook be able to stop the takedown? Sure. And if he does get taken down, how's the submission game going to look? If he can't apply that submission game, then it's going to be Chauncey's. Chauncey could get on a roll.
Well, it's no doubt going to be a fight to watch, man. A huge amateur matchup. And at the Crossroads event in June, Chauncey Houston went up against Brandon Rose. It's our second fight of the night. This is MMA Inside the Cage with the big Rising Fight League preview show.
All right, contrast of styles coming up right here.
So what do you know about these guys, buddy?
Looking for some speed. Both teams. One team, of course, Chauncey out of Team TKO here in Knoxville.
So we got Chauncey Houston, Brandon Rose making his debut, and we have Chauncey. How many fights has Chauncey had? Do we have that down here somewhere there, Kid? 2 fights. See that? I'm getting information from over here, buddy.
Well, I'll tell you that Chauncey. I'm gonna tell you that Chauncey is the much more poised and composed of the two fighters. You're looking at Brandon Rose. He's got a little bit more of a wilder style, got a little more range.
Looping right hand right there.
Chauncey working his way in.
Trying to close the distance. He's cutting the ring off.
Absolutely. The shorter fighter, of course, needing to do that and get inside and do nice cross.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
There we got the underhook and the slam. Gorgeous.
Nice. Now, speaking of the takedown, the slams, with scoring and judging and everything, how do you feel the scoring and judging has been progressing in MMA now?
Well, so you mean as how the slams would actually score in the fight? Or?
Well, that, but just judging in general. I mean, people always complain about the judging, that the judges sometimes get the fights wrong. But since I've gotten involved in MMA, I've noticed that the judges are getting stronger and they're getting better as time goes on. What do you think?
Well, I think that, you definitely have to have a touch in order to judge mixed martial arts, just like pro boxing compared to amateur boxing. And I think that it is getting better, but you have to, like I said, have to have that artistic understanding and know, its damage is MMA. The takedown, oh my goodness. Ooh! Oh, and he lets him up. Is the fight over?
Oh. Now, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Now, see, the referee, I think, should have stepped in right there and given the, protected the guy who was coming up. If you're going to let him up, that's what a referee is supposed to do.
Well, Brandon Rose is definitely, wobbled.
He's wobbled. He looks like he's a little overmatched right now, but he's still maintaining.
Still
he's trying
in the fight. But he's going to keep those hands up.
Now, here we go.
The fight's over.
Fight's over. Good. Boom. Boom goes the dynamite.
Welcome back to MMA Inside the Cage, a big Rising Fight League preview show. Cook vs. Houston, Cyrus Feast, Casey Oxendine, Gene Click, and Tim Loy in the house. Now, I have to ask Gene, how often do you have people saying you look like Dana White? I know it happens.
Never.
That's crap. That's crap. You're lying right now.
I've been called worse.
Our main event is coming up, man. But let's run down this card and look at some of the real highlights, man. I'm loving some of the prelims even. You got Absolute's Parker Gimmel doing a kickboxing match to start it off. That's going to be cool just to see him in a different element, right?
Yeah, it's actually the first time anyone from Absolute's had a kickboxing match that he has informed me. Those guys are they're well-rounded guys. They're normally known for their grappling, as you know, but we're going to see Parker Gimmel get in there and throw down with some kickboxing. I'm impressed by Parker's striking in the past, so I think it'll be fun.
That'll be good. Alex Broyles looks to go undefeated against Brandon Grimmett. Now, Broyles looks really tough, Gene. Man, he's really built. Just it looks like he has a lot of skills coming out of D-Evil.
Yeah, at the X Series show, Alex came out. I mean, he's a specimen at the weight division. I mean, as his skills continue to evolve, he's going to be a contender for sure in the division. He is one of the true guys that are in the Southeast right now that are really big for their weight.
It's kind of like a Scott Holtzman or something like that, man. Just monsters.
Coming out of D-Evil, he's going to bring the goods. So we're expecting big things.
Now, how about RoboCop returning to the cage, man, after his last win at X Series? 40 years old. It's not even 40, is it?
He's 42. He turned 42 the night of weigh-ins for the last fight that he had.
Talk about another physical specimen, right?
Yeah, he looks great, and of course he's fighting another guy in his 40s. It's going to be a really good, evenly matched fight. So we're excited.
And he has a rowdy crowd that comes with him.
He does. Man, those guys get out of control.
It's going to be awesome. We'll see, how they fill up the Tally Ward Center. Brandon Bullington, there's another fight. Gib Fry didn't get to fight on the last event because his opponent couldn't make it, but I know he's raring to go. Bullington's going to have a real good fight on his hands.
Yeah, Bullington versus Fry, that's a good fight. We like that it's two really top teams going at each other. I think it'll be the first time we've seen anybody from Chaos take on a guy from Absolute. So that's one of Knoxville's best teams against one of the Tri-City's best teams going at it for 155 belt.
Now, another big fight is the Dustin Long fight. He's fighting Sam Burns, and Dustin Long just took that loss at the last event, and it's probably eating him up inside. It was a medical injury. He's not injured, thank goodness. He's going to be coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, man, I'm so glad that he wasn't injured seriously, but yeah, dude, it is tearing him up. He's excited to get back in there, and Sam Burns is going to be an incredible gatekeeper for him.
He's got that hair kind of
like he does, man, and he comes to fight every time.
That's going to be a very good fight. Billy White, David Miles for the bantamweight title. I mean, you got a lot of title fights on this. Talk about that fight, man. It should be very competitive.
Both these guys are showing that there are two guys to keep a lookout for.
Sure.
Early on, we had met Billy Miles, and he's kind of got the Joe Lozon look, to him. He's not really athletic per se, but then he gets in there and he's super competitive, super skilled. And David Miles coming off 2 huge wins recently. We're really excited because it's 2 very young guys, both coming out of good camps, and they're both desperate for the belt. So I know we're going to get a good fight out of that one.
Absolutely. Good stuff. And finally, the co-main event, Steve Thomas, Craig Johnson. Now, gentlemen, before we see Steve Thomas's last war, what fight are you most excited about? Off this whole card, what's the one fight that's got you really going as a fan?
As a fan, I think the fight that's going to deliver the most is going to be Dustin Long versus Sam Burns. I think we'll get 3 good, hard-hitting rounds from both those guys. I don't think either one's got any quit in them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you?
Same here. I think you're going to get 2 guys that both are looking at the opportunity. Of course, Dustin's looking to kind of get the bad taste out of his mouth. Sam has, shown that he comes to fight. He loves fighting. I think he'd do it in the parking lot. So you got 2 guys, neither one of them are, trained to lose. So I think that fight, like Tim said, is going to be the one that delivers.
And Casey, you went undefeated at the last Crossroads event, right? I know you're wanting to go. 4-0, 3-0, aren't you, at this event?
Yeah, we're always hoping to take them the wins. But, and I'm really anxious to see the Steve and Craig go at it. I believe it's going to be bloody, and I think it's going to be, a really tough, grueling battle because, they both have their attributes, and, neither one of them have any quit.
That's true. Now, we saw what Craig Johnson did in the first round of the last Rising Fight League. Now let's see Steve Thomas's handiwork. It's Steve Thomas, Mark Nunn, the main event from the inaugural Rising Fight League show in Knoxville. It's your MMA Inside the Cage main event of the week. Introducing the competitors. Fighting out of the red corner, he fights for Elite Martial Arts of Lafayette, Tennessee. Coming in with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss, Mark Nunn. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, fighting for Team Oxendine of Johnson City, Tennessee. Coming in with a record of 2 wins and 2 losses, I give you Steve Thomas! 3-minute rounds.
Tell you what, Mark Nunn's got some good kicks, and Steve has got the power advantage, in my opinion. Just ready to see how this first round is going to transpire.
It's funny too, because right now they're both coming out throwing some strikes, trying to feel each other out there. Nobody's really laying anything. Nice kick right there to the thigh. Nice kick. Nice kick.
Caught a little bit of that knee though. Nunn's got a bit of a limp going.
You can hear that. You hear that smack, that good deep impact.
Get on him. Nice.
Steve pressed him up against the wall. Looked like he's going to try to take him down.
In my experience, this is where Steve has kind of shown some of his dominance. Fighting for us before, he's pretty effective off the cage. Got good slams.
Knees to the inside of the thigh right there by Steve. Steve Thomas throwing the inside. Did you notice how Steve Thomas, when it first was doing it, Casey got loud? I said, that's what I like, man. But his fighters listen, I've noticed.
Oh, when you're in there and the adrenaline's pumping, everything's going, and you hear something, it takes a second for it to register sometimes.
Yeah, Casey's
you're thinking, which one's my right hand?
10 seconds left in the round.
Now, don't pull him off the cage. Don't pull him off the cage.
Sometimes I have a problem remembering right and left no matter what, the cage or not.
One of those punches landing in the back of the head. Got a little sweat on my brow right now.
Round number 2, Knoxville, get up, make some noise.
Didn't like that at all.
When he lands those leg kicks on Steve, it slows Steve down a little bit.
All right, we're back to action. Rising Fight League, round number 2, 170-pound title tournament semifinal. Mark Nunn in the white, Steve Thomas in the camouflage from the Knoxville Convention Center TV.
Stay away from straight. Let's go.
For all the news on RFL and X Series, go to xseriesmma.com.
See what I'm saying? He's getting in close. He's a taller fighter. Hands
up. Tell you what, Steve Thomas has some power, and if Mark Nunn doesn't quit coming in with that flurry with his chin wide open, he's going to get counter-struck just like that.
Steve Thomas stunned him. He definitely stunned him. Mark Nunn's still on his feet, but that's
not. Right now. He's trying to regain consciousness. Steve needs to roll this and keep working.
He's hurt.
Yeah, Steve definitely landed that punch right on the butt, wobbled his legs. He was going to go down. He regained himself real quick, Mark Nunn did. Now, he's holding him up against the cage, trying to regain his composure.
Get the curtains to come back up.
Clear a little bit of the cobwebs out. Oopsie. Steve Thomas lands that left big. Oh, he's trying to go for the haymaker right here.
They're exchanging now. Now we're in a...
Right in the middle of the ring. Lefts and rights, lefts and rights. Let's go. The crowd gets fired up. My man right here, Gene and Mike. Everybody's getting fired up in the building. Baby. This is awesome.
Oh, nice.
He's wobbled again. Steve Thomas throwing some punches right now. Oh,
these boys are enjoying
that kick to the back right there.
I think Steve's starting to gas a little bit.
I think they're both looking a little gassed. Their mouths are both gaping wide open. And that's the thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your third and final round. I want you all making noise here, guys. They're leaving it all in the cage.
That right there. That's why I'm glad you brought that up. Because that is a head kick.
That's what's great about this sport. Two men beat each other senseless for 2 rounds and then smile and touch.
You know, they're X Series bound. There's no doubt. I mean,
there it goes again. He hit him again
right
and he rattled him. Now he's got to go in there and finish that. You can't wobble him. You can't wobble him and then not go in and just attack.
Fire. You've got to be a lion. There's blood in the water. You got to attack.
But this is the youth and the inexperience and the gas. It all comes into play.
Because this is a war, and they're just going to jump right.
Steve has battled. Mark has battled. We're coming to the seconds.
This is the first fight of the night.
Look at that. That is a fight.
This is the first fight of the night for me that I don't know who got the nod on this.
The judges have rendered their decision. Judge number 1 scores this 29-28 for Thomas. Judge 2 scores the fight 29-28 for Nunn. And judge number 3 scores the fight 29-28 for your winner out of the blue corner, Steve Thomas. Well, the event is Rising Fight League Cook vs. Houston, Friday, August 19th in Morristown, Tennessee. I'm going to be announcing. You guys got to come out there. Guys, one more time, how can they get the tickets to this big event?
For advance tickets, you can call me 865-256-2330, or you can go to our website, xseriesmma.com. We'll have tickets available at the door, but I must warn you that seating is very limited for this event. We will expect a sellout.
And I must warn you, don't blow up this man's phone, man. You got all the ladies calling you with that hairstyle. We have to thank our fantastic guests tonight, Gene Click, Tim Lloyd, for stopping by. Next week, we preview another huge event, Gruesome MMA 5, The Reckoning, that's going to go down September 9th in Pikeville, Kentucky. Now, partner, before we sign off, how can everybody get a hold of us?
Well, of course, you can get us on Facebook at facebook.com/MMA Inside the Cage, Twitter at MMA ITC, or you can email us at MMAInsideTheCage@gmail.com.
I'm Cyrus Fees.
And I'm Casey Oxendine.
We'll see you next week Inside the Cage.
Is that Coke too low? Can you sing?